Got a question on the front left.
Michelle Vogel from ESPN.com. I guess both Kalani and Lauren and Chloe, if you want to jump in on this one too, that fourth quarter was just complete dominance. Can you guys talk about what happened there, how you guys were able to just sort of completely take over the game?
I think we really locked down on defense. We started getting some steals, getting out and running, and I think that eventually wore them out.
Anybody else want to comment on that?
She got it first.
Okay. Questions for our student athletes? Michelle?
I guess, Chloe, I'll ask you this. I know this is part of what you came here for, and you've still got another big tournament to play. But what's this experience been like to be part of this and win this championship for you?
It's a blessing. With this team, it's a special team, and it's just surreal. This is what I came here for, like you said, and I wouldn't want to do it with another group of girls.
Question on the right, Bryce.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trip. Kalani, every game is different, and this one, I mean, you guys got out to a quick start, they answered, and then it was kind of just back and forth. When that fourth quarter run comes, I mean, we asked you yesterday about when you guys get on a run like that, when it's in the fourth quarter and you guys are able to, kind of land that knockout punch, what's that feeling like?
It's a good feeling because the momentum is with us. We have all the energy, and when we play with high energy, we play some good basketball and good team ball. So you just start having fun with it after that, and I think that's what we did in that fourth quarter.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Lauren, was there any frustration at all setting in? I mean, or was it more, what Iowa State was doing, the way that they were controlling y'all a little bit on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think we were just missing some easy shots. They were letting them be physical with us. I think that got us a little tired, but we pushed through that, and our shots eventually started falling. Chloe was hitting from the outside. Lonnie hit a couple from the outside, so that really started to open it up down low.
Question on the aisle.
Chloe, your step back jumper that you hit right in front of the bench, about 3 minutes to go. How nice was that? Especially, when you do it right in front of your teammates like that.
Pretty great. It was pretty great. But just all credit goes to my teammates. They gave me that confidence that I could knock down a shot. And Coach talked about it earlier, just paying attention to the shot clock. I knew I had to do something with this, so.
Question for Michelle.
Kalani, I know you've talked about this a lot, the disappointment, if you will, in the NCAA tournament, and how you didn't really want to think about that or focus on that. You just wanted to focus on this season, but here we are again. How cohesive, how good does this team feel going into the NCAA tournament as a number one seed?
We set goals in the beginning of the season. This was pretty much the final little mini goal before we make our run for the NCAA tournament. So I think that's the only thing we haven't checked off our list is a Final Four. And if anything, winning tonight should make our team more focused.
Question on the aisle.
Chloe, you struggled at times against Middleton. Talk about what because I think Moon and maybe Dee Dee switched to her in that fourth quarter, and she didn't score. Talk about their defense.
They're just amazing defenders. That's all I can say. I mean, they're great. Do a great job.
Anything further for our student athletes? Okay, we'll take questions for Coach. We've got a question on the far outside right.
Cliff Brunn, Associated Press. Can you talk about the job that Dee Dee Richards did on Bridget Carlton tonight?
I thought Dee Dee did what she's done all year. Dee Dee is our defensive stopper on the perimeter. When she got a little fatigued, we can move other people. When she wasn't looking for a shot on the offensive end, as I told her, you can't be an offensive liability or I can't play you. And she started cutting to the basket a little bit. She was just standing there. And she just works so hard. She has the body, she has the conditioning, she has the length to make it very difficult. She didn't bite on the fakes all night. She stayed on the floor. How many times do you play Iowa State and the majority of their game are post-up moves by the perimeter players or drives? When you describe an Iowa State team, the first thing you say is you must defend the three. Well, they only made 3 threes tonight. So their game plan obviously was a little bit different. Well, why was it different? I have to give credit to our kids and their effort on the defensive end of the floor. I've said it all year. We change people's approach to the basketball game because of our defense, whether that's Cox and Kalani's presence in the paint, whether it's Dee Dee Richards not going to give up as many threes as you're used to taking. I don't know, but I've never played an Iowa State team that posted up guards like that or drove to the basket with their guards like that. And I love that kid's energy. You got to talk about Moon Urson tonight. She was so valuable on the defensive end as well.
Nick Canizales, KCN. Coach, how does a game like this, a tough, hard-fought game, help you guys going forward as you enter the NCAA tournament?
We've had a bunch of them, Nick.
I know.
It's good. It's good. I mean, we've had a bunch of those. Look at the last of our schedule this year. 3 of the last 4 games were teams that were vying or fighting for second place in the league. So it wasn't like the hard part of our schedule was played early. And I think that will only help us down the stretch.
Question on the platform at the left.
Brooke Bednarz, KXXV. Nelissa Smith seemed to get in that game just when you guys needed her and be a spark on the offensive side of the ball. Can you just talk about her play and what she did for this game?
Well, it's not just tonight. Nelissa Smith started the season. We don't win against Arizona State and Connecticut without Nelissa Smith. When you head into conference, she's not the forgotten one anymore. Everybody knows everybody's strengths and weaknesses, so that freshman came out in her in that she's going, wow, this is a lot tougher in conference, man. I can't turn, I can't do this. And I just kept telling her, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And I thought Nelissa Smith in the last part of the season is going back to being a big-time player and an offensive threat for us. And she just had, I don't want to say hit a wall, but she hit that freshman frustration, thinking, gosh, this is supposed to be easier than it is right now. And there's nothing I can tell her. There's nothing her parents can tell her. She has to live it. And it's good to see her, particularly at this time of the year, because we need that kid. And that's what I told her coming off the floor. It's good to see you're back.
Got a question on the platform all the way on the right-hand side.
Elizabeth Tharp, Baylor Leary. Going back to Moon, what can you say about her transformation this year alone, like especially in the last 3 days for these games? What can you say about Moon?
Well, it's not just the last 3 days. It's all season. I'll tell a quick story. Moon is from the state I grew up in my home state. And I watched a kid with a tremendous body in high school, and I watched a kid with tremendous speed and quickness and vertical leap. And I just thought her best basketball is ahead of her. And when her mom dropped her off at the dorm at Baylor, I put my arm around her neck and I said, she's going to call home homesick many days and think she's the worst player ever. You just listen and let her vent, and you just keep telling her, hang, hang, stay in there, hang. It was just a matter of time. The kid has a beautiful mid-range jumper like Chloe. She has speed and quickness. Confidence would be a good word to use. When you're a freshman, you think you're the worst player ever. And then when you hit that point, usually about your sophomore year, you realize, wow, I'm pretty darn good. And Moon has just really done what I had hoped that she would do. She's a crowd favorite. She goes in the game because she plays so hard, but she's really a crowd favorite because of her presence. She's a happy kid. She speaks well. She is, no matter how down she is, she just, you want to be around her.
Question on the aisle.
Kim, it's 48-44 going fourth quarter, and, Iowa State's really making y'all work down low, and you guys immediately go into Kalani, go into Lauren, they score. I mean, do you have the utmost confidence that they're going to continue to get it done even when it is a grind?
Well, for me, it started at halftime. If you look at their shooting at half, I challenged both of them. I said to both of them, you're a combined, and I forget what it was. It wasn't very good. And I said, if you're as good as people say you are, then you will work your way through it. And they did. They got fatigued. Everybody gets fatigued this time of year, and I gave them rest, and that's when Nelissa went in and helped us maintain what we had at that point. Those kids are experienced players. They've seen it all. And you go with kids that are experienced. But what you saw is you finally saw Kalani just find the second gear when she was fatigued and run the floor. You got to push. No matter how tired you get, you got to push. And I thought her running the floor late, I thought we got to 50-50 balls better in that fourth quarter than we did in the first half. 50-50 balls, loose balls, steals, hands, active. And Chloe did a better job. We were very poor in the first half. And credit Iowa State. Chloe didn't pay attention to the shot clock a lot of times, and that's not Chloe. So I addressed that at halftime, and that was really the difference. I just thought we had more energy in the fourth quarter.
Jerry?
Kim, you usually don't reflect during a season. You usually wait. But your comment out there, does it hit you what this program has done during your time? 13 times in this game in 19 years. And I can rattle off the numbers, but does it kind of hit you what this program has done?
Well, actually, it did today. I don't know why. I don't know. Somebody just talking to me before the game and just said, Coach, do you realize y'all have played in 13 of these championship games? And I said, no, I didn't know that. I said, and I've only been at Baylor 19 years. I said, didn't know that. And then that person said, and you've won 10 of them if you win today. I kind of knew that because somebody said a total of 20 championships in 19 years if you count the regular season. I knew more of that, Jerry, than I did that we've played in 13 of them. That's pretty remarkable. And I can't say enough about the Baylor fans today. They were loud and proud, and they were here. And got to keep doing it. Got to keep feeding that monster. And I think Michelle brought it up, Vopel. The disappointment we've had in the NCAA tournament. See, I don't view that way. Last year, Christy Wallace gets hurt. Did anybody really expect us to go to the Final Four without your quarterback? Now think about that. We got to a Sweet 16, and that's a disappointment. I don't view it that way. That's why I teared up the night she tore her knee up in the last game against West Virginia. I'm a realist. Too many things can happen that affect a basketball team. We have been very fortunate to stay away from injury. And we have been very fortunate that I've got a deep, deep bench. And those kids never pout on you. Those kids are a joy to be around. They pull for each other. And that's a rarity in today's society. That is a rarity as a coach that you don't have one in that locker room that's pouting. They all want to play. Look, I want them to want to play. But they understand their time and their role, and we'll see what we can do. But I can tell you this. The public might say it's a disappointment and a failure and I didn't feed the monster if we don't get to the Final Four. So be it. We're still relevant, and we'll fight till the last second ticks off that clock. because I know how hard it is. A lot of things have to go right. And there are a lot of good teams that get on a roll. We're pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
This is going to be the final question for Coach.
Now, Coach, how much of a luxury is it to be able to beat a top 20 team by 18 points, not even make a three-pointer, only attempt 3 of them? Just the luxury of having a team that can play that style of ball in this day and age to be able to do that.
Well, how smart would I be if we shot threes with a 6'5" and a 6'7" post out there? And you know what? Those 2 kids can shoot the 3 ball. Those 2 kids can shoot the 3 ball as good as anybody I have. But I think our record speaks for itself. You know, it's just it's going to be interesting to see when Cox and Kalani leave how they're used at the next level, because I know what strengths and weaknesses they have, but boy, they sure have won a lot of basketball games. Kalani Brown, I think, is 70-2 in the Big 12. Check it out. I'm not sure, but I think she's 70-2 if you don't count this tournament in regular season games.
Okay, Coach, congratulations on a great season and best of luck in the Final Four.
Thank you. Final Four, you already got me down there. Did y'all catch that?
Coach, it goes without saying.
Lordy, you see what I deal with? How about good luck in the playoffs, Coach? Go represent the Big 12. We are so proud of y'all. God bless you.
Good luck in the Final Four.